Other one for new video. So it's been a while, I know, since I made a video. I kept going back and forth for a couple days about this, but I want to make a build guide on this video, this build or not, since it was trying to think. So going through the axe was super easy. It was super quick. Uh, from maps, it started to struggle. You can definitely have good damage for early mapping, but by the time you get to like high red maps or even I say big bosses, Maven, Cyrus, Cortex, Mastermind, like the big boys, the build will struggle until about until like 92, I think is when I started. No, till level 90. Once you get level 90, it gets a lot better. It's just it is a struggle until then, as a heads up mark. I'll explain why later, but pretty much this is Freezing Pulse Totems. It's level 92 right now. It's really Freezing Pulse hits like a truck. It's 100k with nothing on, no buffs or anything. The build is Chaos Res sucks. Not too defensive wise, not really anything. But you are playing with the new rework. So like the rework of Conviction of Power is where a lot of resistance comes from, and a lot of crit damage. The double totem, and the Divine Guardians. This is pretty much where your defensive layer comes in, because Divine Guardians and Might Over Matter gives you about 40% damage taken as mana for life, and that's pretty much where a lot of your defensive layer for this build comes from, and it's why you run so much mana with this build. Pretty much, we'll go over this part first. So when I was leveling, I ended up just going this way like I did on here too. Because when leveling, you can level a Freezing Pulse and just buy two first snows. They don't have to be hindered and corrupted blood. Just buy the cheapest in the market for 1 chaos each. And just rush quick as possible. I went this way to get this one. And right after I got this one, I ran this way. And I got this one. I think I went this way first actually because when I got these 2 points, that's when I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 points versus 1, 2, 3, 5 points. So I went this way first, picked up this one, and my clear speed was extremely fast. Then I went this way, picked up this one, and I was starting just to kill everything quickly. Don't take Ancestral Bond until... Where you at? There you are. Until you get Pursuit of Faith at the first lab, because this one gives you an extra totem. So, and it also gives you more speed, totem duration. It's definitely what you need to make the totems feel good. If you don't want to level up with Freezing Pulse, you don't have to. You can definitely use the Flame Totem Flame Wall combo, and it'll absolutely destroy everything. And that's probably the easiest way getting to the first lab, but if you're not on Leak Start, you can definitely just buy 2 first snows and run that way too. It is a struggle, but I think the Flame Totem will be much faster for bossing, but I wanted to try 2 first snows, so I went with that. But the usual, go this way, Retribution, these 2. Respect these 2 points when you get to the point where you can go this way around. So you can take these 2 points back. First snow, try to get Corrupted Blood and Hinder if you can. Corrupted Blood is the best. Both if you can. These 2 points, you don't need them. I put them there because I don't have the large cluster yet, which I'll talk about later. You know, your Ancestral Bond, mana, life, chaos, res, because your life is low with this build. Crit Strike, you can get these points later. You don't have to get these right away. Skip this until like the last points you're getting for the build. Dex node, you might need this early on. Dex and Strength are a struggle for this build. Dex is more of a big struggle. That's why I have the 1 point right here for 10 Strength, 10 Dex, because I think I'm off. I'm short 7 Strength, so that pretty much is what helps for now. I can easily take that off and put it into this Strength note for more life I want to, but I'm just doing like that just so I remember later. Minor Matter, don't take this until pretty much you're probably have all your labs done. And that's when your defensive layer comes in. You probably don't need until much later. Your life cluster here, first snow. All the totem crit, you don't need this until you get all the base stuff on the tree. Life resistance, mana. Clear mind, when I was leveling, when I got to this spot, I actually put in self-flagrant. Try to get 20% curse if you can. They're real cheap, like 20 chaos maybe. But I had this in here because when I was leveling, I was using Herald of Ice. So that was my aura, so I couldn't really, I was reserving mana, so I just wouldn't do anything for me. So I was using this to level. And then once I got to the point where I put the point here, then I put this up, clear mine back in, and just ran this instead. You know, like your block mana, more damage, a lot of mana. Crit, these 2 points don't take until later. Cold damage, life mana, chuck, more mana. Crits you don't need till later. Pain, don't take this until you get the belt, because the belt gives you low life, so this doesn't do anything until you get the belt on. Jewel slot for a self. Saying they rush down this way, get the dex. More damage, crit. Then after push, I cut these 2 points out. Once I got to this one, that's when I went back and I picked up these 2 points. Then I picked up the crit here, the crit and cast speed. Crit. Totem crit went somewhere. There you are. The totem crit stuff. Like, that's when I went and got all those points. For the cluster, you want to pick up at least the medium cluster first and the small. And then when you get to like level 90, like 92 to 95-ish, you can get the large cluster in. It's just you want to make sure you have the medium in, which is a 4 or 5 with non-damaging elements. And you want Astonishing Cold and Cold Conduction. Cold Conduction is where you actually get a lot of your damage from, because it makes your it pretty much makes everything chill and shock. And Astonishing just gives you a lot of damage. If you can, go for attributes. It's the best thing you can get, or all res, but most likely attributes is what you're gonna need the most. In the small cluster, it's just more life with bless on it, which bless gives you a chaos res, life, and mana. So it helps you push your chaos res up a little bit. So you can try to get close to positive, but it's still hard to do. Like, if you can, like chaos res, dex or strength, increase 25% or 35% of the attributes or whatever's on there. This is what gives you a nice defensive layer, and this is where your lighter damage comes from. So once I got this, I was able to start actually killing things, but build's still super squishy. Like right now, I would take away these 2 points and get a large cluster in here. If I was doing a large cluster, you want to get the increased fire damage with Prismatic Heart and Burning Breath. Wait, that's not the right build. Oh, that does make sense. Okay, I lied. You want cold damage. I don't want build up. So you want cold damage with Vengeful Commander. You don't use it. It's just a slot you need as its way to take to save your skill point. And you want Blanket Snow, because Blanket Snow gives you damage pen. And then that's when you like take the 2 points going up. This will be on one side, and the other side, it's increased totem damage with pretty much Sleepless Sentries to give you more totem damage, and gives you Onslaught if you summon a totem, which you always do, so you always have Onslaught. And then you want Ancestral Reach for 20% more totem damage, placement speed, range. Gives your totems more range, so it's more quality of life. And if you have big money, you can get a Watcher's Eye. The best Watcher's Eye, and this one's Double Hatred with cold damage and crit chance. Those are stupid expensive. You're looking about 40 plus X. So if you want, I would go cheaper. You can either spend 2X and just get the cold damage as Hatred, or the better option is spend about, I think, 7 to 8X and get the crit strike chance while affected by Hatred. And you can easily take out this one also, the Clear Mind, and put your Watcher's Eye here until you go large. But you want to make sure when you put the large in, you can take out these points right away. So like those 2 points I had here would go like 1 and 2. I would still need 1 more point to put in to put all this. So you can't really take it until like 93 on if you get the perfect large cluster, but those go for between 14 to like 17x, so they're stupid expensive. So that's why for now I just went with this. I put 2 points here Just at least put them somewhere. And if I didn't have it yet, I'd probably just go like get like damage pen resistance or whatever one I thought was better for the time and go for like this for more damage. Oh yeah, fast. Lab 1, Lab 2, Lab 3, because this is huge where resistance comes from, and Lab 4. It's nice when you get these up because this gives you a huge elemental resistant buff, and that's where a lot of your resistance comes from with this build. And more crit strike chance. And the only aura you run is Hatred. For gear, it's pretty much like what a lot of the other builds look like, to be honest. I bought these ones super cheap, and they work for the time being. But pretty much what you're looking for is like cold damage, dispels, cast speed, global crit, +1 all cold spells or all spells, whichever one you can get. And then you want at least somewhere to have a socket of spells trigger, because on that one you want Val Cold Snap, Bone Chill support, and then Spell Cascade in that order to cast some of that. And the other weapon, it's pretty much the exact copy. You know, increased spell damage percentage or cold spell, or spell damage or cold spell or cold damage, both work. Just whatever one you can get your hands on. And I just do spell damage, so just have it on here. But if you didn't have that, you just go for more damage. And the other weapon is just Sniper's Mark. Keep this at a low level, whatever you can afford based on your dex. That's why I left it at level 5, just have a small dex on it. Just because I know dex will hurt if I ever try to redo the gear. Like your Flame Dash, you don't need Anonymous, just regular Flame Dash works. And second one is just to make your Flame Dash have an extra. So it's 4 instead of 3. Helmet. This is the Maven helmet now that dropped. There's a lot of builds starting to run because of the fact that this helmet makes it so you don't have to use Azuri's Reflection anymore. So this is the new Azuri's Reflection combo with the blue ring. So that's why you can run double wands for a lot more damage than what it used to be in the past. So the helmet, it's nice because +1 or 2 to all gems, ES, armor, resistance, and pretty much the reason you run it is because damage of enemies hitting you is always unlucky, since you always have a magic ring equipped. And depending on what slot you have a ring in, if it's in the right slot, which mine is, you always have hexproof, so that's why the soul mantle doesn't bother you. And if you have it in the left ring, you just take no damage from crit strikes. But like a build like this, you only need it in this one. And it's pretty much the Frostbite for your curse, increased duration, spell cascade, and arcane surge. Amulet's the normal amulet everyone runs. Just put elemental damage modifier on it for more damage. And then Flash Freeze is the cheap option. If you have money, you want to go for, I believe it's Whispers of Doom, if I'm correct. It moved on the skill tree, so I don't know where it's at anymore. Okay, I don't know where it's at on the skill tree, but I know it's on here somewhere. There it is. So yeah, Whispers of Doom, but the fact that it's triple gold makes it really expensive. I'm looking about 210 chaos. But it's nice if you can get this for the additional curse. It just depends, do you have the currency to get it? Because if you have it, that's where your sniper mark comes in. That's the reason I'm not using it on here, just because I like Frostbite over sniper mark. Just because it gives you so much damage off of it. I've tested both of them, and I believe this is better, just because of the fact you're giving enemies minus 48 cold res. So it does. I think it does a lot better. And this is the best in slot amulet, to be honest. Rings. So one is an Essence Worm that has your hatred. If you can get Anonymous, I would recommend going for that one, so that you can get the you and nearby enemies have 10% increased chill and freeze duration. It is really nice when you can pretty much perma freeze bosses with this. So it's really nice overall, and this gives you just more damage overall. And then when you have it in here, it costs no mana, so that's why you can run it with Clear Mind. That's the why you can use this. And then there's a lot of options here. Vermilion, if you want to have a lot of life. If you don't want to go Vermilion, you can easily get one that has life and cold damage on it together. That's another option. It's just they're expensive. So that's why I went with this and just get and just alt spam until you get T1 life, and then craft whatever else you need. If you need resistance, craft it. If you need damage, just whatever you want to put on there. Soul Mantle, it's obvious. You can easily get, I think it's more life on the Soul Mantle instead of quality. Or Dex even is probably the best option. If you get like count as Dex instead, that can fix all your problems. Or Strength, Dex, whatever you need. That can fix all your attribute problem easily. I have not seen a harvest yet with this character. And then it's added cold damage, cold pen. This is pretty much where a lot of your Dex comes from. Why you need such a lot of Dex. Freezing Pulse, 21-23 is the best to get. If you can't afford, just get a 20-20 for now. And just level up as you can. They're about 2x though. Hypothermia, multi-totems, and awaken control instruction. Just get awaken when you can. And if you're leveling, if you're using a tabby, instead of multi-totem, just use spell totem once you switch over to totems. And you level up that way. And once you hit level 49, I think it's the chest piece, 48, 49, that's when you want to switch over to multi-totems, since this already has spell totems on it. And you need to make sure, though, you run 2 Kikizaku rings in both your slots to help with the, to reduce the curse effects by 80%. And then on your tree, go away, you also need to make sure you take these points down here. This will make you, when you take this one, you have 100% reduce the curse effect on you. So it makes it that the when you get the curses up here, they won't affect you when you have the rings on. And then like when you can get this helmet on, that's when you can switch out this with these two instead. It's just you have to wait until I think it's like really high level in the 60s. Then boots is just movement speed, a lot of resistance, life, mana, and it's steel skin with cast damage taken. And then it's down here, it pretty much increased duration with Val Haste. You never use regular haste. Val Haste is there just for more attack speed. Coward's Legacy is best in slot. Pretty much movement speed. This one gives you low life with vulnerability on you, so it definitely gives you permanent low life. And then this league, it's super easy to make this belt with using Alva. In the sacrificial chamber, just get to tier 3. It's really easy to do using GC's area with this one. Because it pretty much lets you speed upgrade it, and it makes it go by a lot faster. And it's the first form of the belt and like one of the vials. I think it's Conquest, something like that. And just throw it into the tier 3 sacrifice chamber and make it. If you can on the boots, I forgot to mention, try to get non-damaging elements deal more damage if you want a huge damage boost. They were super expensive, so I went with this one just to fix my resistance. Gloves, try to get your dex on either one of these two if you can, because dex will hurt. Life, mana, resistance, and then try to get increased crit strike chance against shocked enemies. It goes with the lightning resistance. It's a temple mod. That's why they go together. So that's why it helps you deal. That's when you trigger that crit strike chance against shocked enemies. That's the reason why you want cold conduction, because they're always shocked, so you always get more damage. And spell cascade, increased duration, second wind, and frost bomb. It's just so you get 2 frost bombs and they last longer. So it's pretty much when you pair up the minus 15 from frost bomb and the minus 48 from frostbite, you're looking over 60% minus cold res on enemies. So that's why you hit so hard with the totems. Flasks, it's pretty much Divine Flask Staching for bleed immune. Diamond for shock immune and more crit strike. Wise Oak, just make sure cold's the highest. There should not be 2 of these on here. I was just extremely lazy. This one is my freeze immune flask. This one's on here just because I don't know why. Like Bottle Faith, much better. Cinderella Flask with movement speed on it even is much better. Like another Flask in general is much better. Like anything, Enduring Flask you can run too in the slot. Just for the no regen maps, Enduring Flask will take care of your no regen problem. And like this build in maps, the only thing it doesn't do is a mental reflect, and then cannot no regen. You can do only if you have enduring. Without it, it's really hard to do. And second weapon slot, just get one of these axes for rampage. So go on a map, weapon swap, kill a couple enemies, get your rampage going, then I switch right back. Trying to think what else. Went over to leveling. Oh, and this one's a little different. You need to make sure you help Alera with this build, because once you help Alera, you'll notice on how much easier it is to sustain your mana. And the crit strike chance of the build is really nice too. I'm trying to think. Pantheons, I never did. I still haven't done anything with this yet, so that's a mess. They could probably just do something like that, and like stun immune's nice. This one's nice. A lot of options. I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, if I was going to upgrade this build, I think next it's going to be the large cluster and the other small, but that's level 98 almost now, and get to 98 I never really do anyway. Like that would be not great. Like upgrading the wands to something, the much stronger wands would be another option. Get the damage elemental boots, but those are expensive. Get the flasks. Maybe get the ring with life and damage for 10% more damage. I think what else? Freezing Pulse projectile speed, what you want on this. It's real easy to get this league with the new lab change, so it makes it a lot easier. I think that's really it. And then at the end of this video, I'm going to put Cyrus on it also so you can see. But I'll show you real quick. We're not going to look at anything. Just go. I'll show you how fast what it does in a map, real quick map. But uplink the Cyrus fight I did, it was extremely sloppy. So the one problem with this build I'm going to mention is that you do die to a lot of one-shots. Your health sucks, the build, and your energy shell is not good. A lot of your damage relies on is getting these totems out so that you keep building up the curse effect so that damage goes way up. You do die extremely fast this build, so the only bad thing I would say about the build is so you have to play very careful, put totems out, and let them just clear a path out. They will screen clear completely for you. And ultimatums, you can do a lot of the ultimatum. You just have to be very careful how you're playing. You can keep using your flask at all times.
I came across the bastion of smothered in snow. Those who followed in my footsteps did not hold, pushing me against the walls. I was crushed.
I found the boss. Easy enough.
Urged unerringly by those I led. I was welcomed into
So you sit here where the boss is at. And once the boss comes down, you just curse him, hit T, and hit E and W to activate both of them right away. So this to this. And boss is dead. That's pretty much it. So that does do well on maps. It's just the Cyrus is not the best. I done Maven with this build. It took 3 tries. But Maven fight's not easy. Just because Maven can kill you one hit so easily. Cortex we did Cortex. I think it was one death when he did the spinning phase where it just shocked the whole field. It instantly killed me. Mastermind was difficult. That was done though. What else did we do with this build? Shaper was easy. The Shaper trial thing we did that one, that was pretty doable. As long as you can focus on them. It's definitely this build I don't see doing Fear, Breach Lords. Like Fear and Breach Lords, I don't think this build is gonna have a lot of problems with, so I'm not gonna attempt it. We've done a lot of boss fights mini, no 10s yet though. It's done a lot though, this build. Overall, I'm happy with it. I don't know if I'm going to upgrade this build anymore though, to be honest. Just because I want to play ultimatums a lot this league. I don't think this build's going to be safe for them. Because that's going to be a huge money loss if you get the correct ones and you fail them. Bill can do them, but we probably won't have this. We'll probably know the second part 2 of this video build. I'm just going to give a heads up for now. Unless I decide to make it. But I'll link the POE in the description below. If you make the changes, you probably have no problem with the build. I know this person in my clan playing it with the actual changes. And I think he's like level 97 now. I'm just crushing everything, no problem. But I'm going to probably end up moving over to another build. Like another couple days or so that I want to play. Because there's a lot of stuff I want to do. So like I want to do the ritual stuff with the 4 ritual watchstones. I want to do like the breach stuff here plus the breach here is it to really see. I know Grimro already did the video about it, but I want to try for myself. Prang that area we know is garbage. Like I want to try to blight stuff out to see really, but like there's this area I'm still not 100% sure I'm doing yet. Oh shit, what did I do? Like, maybe do a project with the temples. This is dead, this league. That's dead. But we'll see. Like I had the Atlas 4 maps off, which are just all unique maps. I had the missing maps already. It's just I gotta get the unique ones to finish. And then from there, I think we'll finally start doing projects this league. Like Simulacrum project we'll do at some point this league when I get a lot of currency, the next build going. I'm just going to spend a couple days on this build for a little bit. Cyrus fight will be right after this. I know this will be a long video because of the Cyrus fight. But I hope everyone liked the video. Like to see, subscribe down below. Come follow me on Twitch. If you have any questions also about this build, put in the description below and I can try to answer them. Or I can try to show you whatever I can if I have the build still. But hope I liked the video and hope to see you on the next one. Okay, let's go. Awakener 8, Cyrus.
Good to see you.
On totems. Prediction? Not gonna go well. Oh, maybe. Maven's dead.
Did you really think this would work?
Please, we will help you. Don't do anything hasty.
Destroying you is as easy as flicking a pest.
Lockpicking, trappy.
How boring and small. You want the Atlas? Take it.
I think all gems should be 20 now.
But Ori, I will burn to the ground. Perhaps the suffering of my fellow citizens will finally stir something.
They are 20, okay. Playing smart.
You finally caught my attention.
I hate this phase because of that top half. That the top Cyrus hits so much harder than real Cyrus. Thank you. I think he got exposed. Curse. It's pretty clean. I think I should have faced him.
Interesting enough.
This is number 3. Oh, that's quick. There's a big difference between doing this at level 92 versus 84, I think, before. Nope. Okay, I should be able to go to him now.
Futility of your efforts.
I ran into that one. I guess he'll be back to the black middle circle. Yep, because we died. Hey, kidneys. This half I don't like because it's hard to see. No? Okay. Okay, this is weird. There it goes. Yep. This is because of us dying. Okay. So now we're going to final phase. I don't like this area. I like being more towards the middle. Okay, final phase. I thought I jumped. No, that was sloppy. I thought I hit the flame dash. Guess not. Okay. Don't die, Mimi. This is a bad spot. So I don't like this side because you have no room. That's not what I want to see. That was weird. Not sure what froze us there. Oh. That one didn't count. Yeah, that one should not have happened. I was not expecting triple death ball. What? We're in last portal, and we should not be in last portal right now. Don't die, don't die, don't die. Boost this up now.
Feel the thrill of
Oh, thank God he died. So yeah, very, very sloppy, but we did it at least.